Hey, everybody. I'm Chris Metzler, Director of Programming here at the Green Film Festival of San Francisco. Um, we love to kind of share films from all around the world, and you had a chance to see the wonderful film, The Snake and the Whale. And it just so happens to be that we got a chance to meet the producing team here behind the film last year at the festival, and a little bit of serendipity. They're out on the road and kind of traveling around with the film, and so we get a chance to share their new film with us here this year at the Green Film Festival of San Francisco. Let's welcome Scott and Mary. How are you guys doing?
Great. Happy to be here.
And so maybe a good place to start is what was the kind of inspiration or like the catalyst that you and the team wanted to do to have like go down the rabbit hole and tell the story?
Yeah, so I've been involved in this issue that the film explores for about half my life. I guess I got involved in around 1994, more involved in
Oh, nice.
1999. And it's about salmon in Idaho that were facing extinction, or, well, they were almost extinct, the sockeye. Coho had already gone extinct. And now the Chinook salmon are struggling, and the Chinook are the prey for the orca. And the orca in the Seattle area are now starving to death. They're the apex predator on the top of this ecosystem that the salmon support. And we've been struggling to try to figure out how to dispel all the misinformation that's been dominating the landscape. Once the orca became part of the issue, a lot more people got involved because a lot of people love those whales, right? And we eventually found a filmmaker found us by we kept looking and looking, and then he says, I've never heard about this story. I want to make a film about it. And here we are. We have a film, and it's doing really well recently at the film festivals. And really pleased that Green Film of San Francisco picked us up. Like I met Chris, what was a year ago at the festival, and had a great time there. I met some others there, Judy Irving and things. And it's just a great festival. So really happy to be a part of it.
So this might like, what do you think? Why do you think the orca becomes such a kind of a gateway species, for people to kind of be able to step back and kind of like want to pay attention to the issue?
Well, it's kind of interesting, that question. Long ago, when we were in this issue, a biologist was saying, there's fish in Idaho. People aren't going to connect with that. They don't have a face that looks like a human face. Back then it was the clubbing of the baby seals, and they have a face that looks like a human face. And maybe the orca has a face that looks like a human face. It may be as simple as that. But for some reason, people are gaga over the orca all over the world. People go, I love the whales. Maybe it's the marketing of it, or I don't know.
It's because the children are with their mothers for their entire lives. I mean, they're very special.
Oh, wow.
Beings. It's once you start to follow them and really get to like just know more about them, they're very special. They're intelligent. Yeah. As a mother, it's like it hits me deep in my heart.
I think you have a point there, Mary. Once you start to learn more about their story, like I think people are introduced to them, doing their stunts at SeaWorld and things like that. And I guess that's where I was going. But what Mary's pointing out is it's a matriarchal society. They're a mammal. They have a gestation period. They have a menopause, which is, the gestation period is about 18 months. They live together as a family forever. The males stay with the family. The grandma lives to like 80 years, and she like knows where to go, or she's the guide. And it's a fascinating story how similar it is to human culture, and then
to us. And it's super important. And I think we put them in a tank, in little tanks, and we were all clapping and thinking it was okay. And then all of a sudden it hit us in the gut, and we were like, why the heck are we doing this to them? Very inhumane.
Most definitely. Well, it's so neat that this kind of kismet, that connected with kind of acclaimed director. What incoming from the kind of more issue subject activist side, what were some of the kind of interesting things that kind of came up in regards to collaborating on a film, of like how did telling the story via film vary from some of the more kind of storytelling and the community that you were doing? What was the process of making a film
Good
like?
question.
Yeah, the thing that really motivated me all along is I've been involved in this half my life, and the powerful people that are just telling us lies that these hydropower dams that never should have been built are vastly important. Like, if the electrical grid would go down if these little projects disappeared, but we're connected to the entire Western grid. It's a tiny fraction of what's available. Mostly the electricity basically goes to Los Angeles from Southeast Washington. It's absurd. But the people that are benefiting, the very few people that are benefiting or that want to keep dams in general, are very powerful. And so they're very connected and they have a lot of money and they run television ads, and the film explores that. So this film is very different in that it's exposing corrupt politicians and lobbyists. And it's interesting that the film where it first started getting picked up was down in Sicily, where the mafia began. And I think that they saw the film and they go, oh, I get it. Political corruption. Love the film.
Yeah, for sure.
And what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Mary.
No, I just think it's really important. We have a lot of advocates right now wanting the Southern residents to survive. And really, after all we put them through in the tanks, having them in horrible conditions. And you'll see in the film that people took them from their families in the Cove up in Washington. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. It's like, I think we didn't know any better. And as time went on, it's like, they're completely away from their families. It would be like I took your child away and said, hey, it's okay. We're going to put them on display for a while and we'll make some money. And they don't really matter.
And so, to a good point there was already a community of orca advocates that have learned about this through the movie Blackfish, or a variety of different movies about this, the Cove, or, there's a lot of movement already that the salmon and the dams, all of a sudden they go, what? Salmon in Idaho are important in this? So in the Orca Task Force meeting that we explore in the movies, when we first got there, people go, how can Idaho have anything to do with this? You guys are nuts. But it's tied together. And so a part of it was that there was already an active community that we've been able to tap into and grow the network of, that now they care about salmon too, because they're the food.
Well, that's the thing that I like, is it kind of like, that kind of off-centeredness of like, it's, that it connects in a way that you wouldn't normally just think of off the top of it, kind of like piques your curiosity as a viewer and just say, okay, I want to know where this story goes. Before we wrap up, I have maybe two more questions. One is, what was there anything that like most surprised you during the making of the film that you just hadn't expected?
Well, the ending is unbelievable. I'm not going to do a spoiler here, but when they brought back the footage to me to look at, I was like, this, come on, did this really happen? And I made calls and verified it, but it's changed I've been a scientist for a long time in my life and skeptic and all this, and then I was quite skeptical of how the film ends, but it's true. So when you get to the end of the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's mind blowing. It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then I think the last question I have is that I always try to remind our audiences at film festivals that, we have had the kind of distinct pleasure, the generosity of filmmakers like you all sharing their films with us. And like our job, for the films that we connect with is to kind of become the grassroots street team to kind of like talk about it, at the backyard barbecue or post about it on social media. But like, what are ways that people can kind of continue to follow your guys' journey and also kind of help spread the word or learn more?
Yeah, great question. We appreciate it. Instagram, the snake in the well. We need to, that's the way of our world. It's people go to Instagram, and I try to post as much as I can. And also our website, thesnakeinthewell.com, and you'll see all of our future festivals. And we try to keep it up to date, but we're out and about a lot, trying to do life, trying to spread it.
But the answer that maybe you were probing for, that people say, was, well, write your congressman. Well, when you see the film, you can know that the congressmen aren't going to solve the problem here. They are part of the problem. Sharing this story with your friends, telling more people about what you learned, probably saying you got to see the film because it's hard to describe. It's amazing what John Carlos Frey and his Emmy Award-winning team condensed into 90 minutes. I've been involved in this for 30 years, and I started talking about it, and people just go, "Can you say that a little bit tighter?" And I could talk about any of these little specific things for a half a day. So he condensed a heck of a lot in 90 minutes.
Well, I just appreciate you guys, kind of pursuing this issue over the years, and then also, crafting a wonderful film that kind of we get a chance to share and kind of help be a catalyst, hopefully, for change out there. Thank you again, Scott, and thank you again, Mary, and looking forward to having you as part of the festival.
Oh, well, we're super appreciative of Green Film of San Francisco. It's a highly regarded festival, and
We're looking forward to it.
yeah, just super excited when we got the invitation to be a part of your festival. So thanks. Really happy to be
Very
there.
cool, guys.
And to be there in person, so we can have Q&A afterwards and engage with the audience further.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you.